so fantastic. So everyone, you will know by now, my name is Cecilia Denton. I'm an industrial psychologist. I'm the owner of PTS Consulting, and we are psychometric assessment specialists, and we develop the emotional intelligence as well as the stress management and all the other training programs, because as we go through our daily lives, we can see that people need help on some of these topics. So that's why we thought it would be a very good idea to just help and promote this part. Okay, so also I want to just say thank you to the HR Talk and Charlene that always organizes these sessions for us, and they are also responsible for inviting all of you. So thank you and welcome everyone. So let's cover why we are talking about emotional intelligence. I'm going to scan through this quickly because I actually want to go to the part where it says when and where does your emotional intelligence work against you. So, but let's just do a quick introduction. So noticing and understanding the emotions of oneself is considered one of the 4 key ingredients of emotional intelligence. So according to this person with a very long name here, mindfulness can help one develop emotional intelligence by increasing people's understanding of their own emotions. Since the practice of mindfulness involves noticing one's current thoughts and feelings without judgment or interference, one learns how to observe different emotional states. Can you see what words we are using? You want to observe different emotional states. So emotional intelligence is not constantly being in an emotion and being emotional and hugging and consoling and crying and that. It's not that. If you look at the faces here on the right-hand side, can you see that there's different emotional states? This person is just aware of their own emotional states, the different ones that they experience in different times. And you will be even better if you can start determining, why am I feeling like this? So in line with this notion, Fieldman, Hayes, and all these other guys found that mindfulness is positively correlated with increased clarity of feelings, attention to feelings, and lower distraction. Remember, when we are distracted with cell phones and, you're driving and you're on your phone, we sometimes watch TV and we're on the phone. We do a whole bunch of things at the same time. You are then neglecting what's going on in your own head. You may be missing the emotions and the feelings that you are actually experiencing because we are so incredibly distracted today. So just as intellectual intelligence is manifested through reading and learning, emotional intelligence can be fostered through mindfully attending to your own current emotional states. So also you want to start becoming aware of other people's emotional states, whether that's sadness, whether that's joy, whether that's happiness, satisfaction, sadness, whatever. We always connect negativity to this. Like we want to pick up if someone feels frustrated or negative or sad. That's not true. An emotional state can be all parts of the spectrum. So we are emotional creatures. That's a good thing until our emotions get out of balance and lead us to say or do something that we later regret. Emotional intelligence helps you to make emotions work for you instead of against you. So that's why you want to become aware of your own emotional state so that it can work in your benefit. So emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, understand, and manage your emotions. It's like a superpower because it can make you better at everything that you do. But like any ability, it needs to be trained and sharpened. So you can just learn, what is it and how do I develop it? So what is EQ? EQ is shorthand for emotional intelligence. Think of it like IQ, but for emotions. So we always think that this part is silly, it's easy, it's not like IQ, because IQ is all brains and ability and whatever. But let me tell you, a lot of us neglect this part, a lot of us. And you can get a hell of a lot done if you can understand yourself, your triggers, your strengths and your weaknesses. You will be able to also see what's going on with other people. And you need to, because that's the way that you manage people. And all of us may get to a point in our lives where we need to manage people at work and, also at home with our family. are we aware and in tune with the people around us in our family, in our family unit, in terms of what's going on there? Okay, so emotional intelligence is a spectrum. So everyone has strengths and weaknesses. So you can be better at one thing, maybe not so good with another. Don't think you have to be perfect. You're still going to learn what it is. Now, on the right-hand side, there is a test in South Africa, a self-scoring test, and it actually covers these points. So this is actually quite a good, I would say, combination of EQ components. So it starts with self-perception, self-expression, interpersonal skills, decision-making when under pressure, and then stress management. So this is actually quite a good cluster if you had to look at it. So when you're emotionally intelligent, you understand yourself at a deeper level, that you recognize both your strengths and your weaknesses, and you are not scared of acknowledging your weaknesses. This is probably our biggest thing. We don't want to tell people, I'm not so great with that. We don't even want to acknowledge it to ourselves. For example, getting feedback at work or getting feedback in terms of anything. We don't like that. It could be a weakness. Drop your ego and be open to learning more about yourself. So you're confident about you can contribute and what and where you need help from others. Can you see the vulnerability there? And then also you're in tune with your emotions. Okay, so let's see, when and how do my emotions work against me? So for example, did your temper cause you to say something that you regret? Or maybe you were in an extremely joyful mood and you agreed to do much. Okay, so we always think that it's only maybe I spoke too quickly, I was too harsh, and I said something that I regretted. But this also happens quite often. You're in quite a good mood, and then you agree to too much. You say that you'll do something that you actually really know you don't have time for. That is also emotional intelligence. And then also think how you're affected by unpleasant emotions like fear and anxiety. We all have this in our daily lives. For example, having to pay bills, maybe waiting for money to come in, maybe having to deal with your daily things that can cause fear and anxiety. Don't think it has to be a car accident or something bigger like a divorce. It's our daily little things. Then these emotions aren't all negative. They help you to keep out of danger. So remember, you don't want to get rid of stress, anxiety, and fear because they do keep you on your toes. They keep you out of danger. Can you imagine you were not worried about anything? That would mean that you would never ever pay a bill. Can you imagine the chaos that we would be living in? So it's all okay. You just want to keep an eye on it. You want to observe it when it pops up. Don't chase it away. Don't suppress it. Acknowledge it and just keep it there where it is. We sometimes do go a little bit overboard with our fears and our anxieties. We take it to the next level. That's when it becomes dysfunctional. So, however, they can also prevent you from making a decision or taking action or trying out new experiences. That's why you want to have your emotions, your fears and your anxiety. You want to have them in balance. Too little of it is a problem. Too much of it is a problem. But if you observe it and keep an eye on it, you can keep it in check. So your emotions can also work against you when it comes to your relationships with others. So, for example, you may lack empathy. Don't take this the wrong way. Most of us lack empathy at times, and the empathy muscle is the one that takes hard work to strengthen. But for now, it is important to know that an inability to understand the feelings and emotions of others can cause you to become callous to their problems. We don't want to be in a society where we do not care about what's happening with other people. All of us are now very much aware of the, our country talking to Trump and all of that, and the emotions that's getting stirred up, and, the farm murders and things like that. So one can actually see that the tensions are getting stirred up. Don't forget to be aware of your own frustrations, your own defense mechanisms, and reach out to the person next to you. We are all in the same boat. So be aware of the tensions that everything is stirring up in you, but remember that you're part of a community, you're part of a society. Don't become calloused to people's problems. Also know we must know our own egos. We all get stirred up, and other people also get stirred up. So let's calm each other down. Observe those frustrations and the irritations that you're experiencing, and bring it back to normal, and reach out to the guy next to you. And remember that we're all feeling the same things, but we don't want to be callous to each other's problems. So this can be extremely damaging to your relationships at work or home, and even, in your own country. So if you are very much aware of the things that get stirred up in you, and you can calm yourself down, you can do it with the people next to you as well. You can be an absolute ambassador for positivity in this country. On the other hand, you may be suffering because you show too much empathy. So can you see, you need to have a balance between too little empathy and too much empathy. In other words, you relate too closely to the feelings of others, leaving you emotionally exhausted. I see this literally happening in front of my eyes. You also don't want to baby too much. Can you see the balance? Always a balance. You don't want to stress too little or too much. You don't want to be too accommodating, but you don't want to be too dominant. Keep an eye on all of your strengths and your weaknesses and get a nice balance. But be aware of what gets stirred up and how you as an individual can calm it down, because your positivity can spread. Okay, I've got 15 minutes left, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag with all the other EQ things that we can discuss here. I want to do an EQ exercise with you, because you are going to love it. And whenever you feel anxious or stirred up, when you go online and you see comments, and it stirs you up, hey? Just be aware of it, acknowledge it, observe it, and think about it from everybody's perspective and point of view, and put yourself in everyone around you in their shoes, and you will be surprised at how much better you can handle and deal with it. Okay, so I am not going to go through this because these things are all in the test. Can you see? Here's also examples of the Alsatian. There's an example of the accountant. There's the example of the parent and child. So I'm not going to go through that now. That is a nice surprise that you will find on our little portal with our training sessions. But what I want to do with you now, I want to have a personal experience and exercise with you right now. So we've got 15 minutes left. I want you to, there where you are seated, right there at your office, in your living room, in your little office, at your house, wherever you are sitting, I want you to relax. I want you to find a comfortable seated position. I want you to relax your shoulders, move them up and down, move it up and down, relax your arms, shake your arms next to your body, and sit nice and comfortable right there where you are. Whether you're on the floor, on a chair, doesn't matter. Just sit right there. So either sitting on a cushion on the floor or in a chair, allow your spine to be straight and long, and let your shoulders drop. So drop it. That's the first place where the tension goes and sits. Okay, and just breathe deeply and just start to relax. I know we're all in work mode. That's why you're here. You want to get through this half an hour quickly so that you can jump back to work and grab another caffeine coffee. But the next 15 minutes is for you. I want you to totally relax. So there where you are sitting, gently close your eyes. Or if you'd prefer, simply gaze down in front of you with a soft focus. So if you want, just close your eyes. We don't often get an opportunity to do this during the day. So just close your eyes, just relax and focus there on your shoulders. Just drop them. Just drop your shoulders. Let them be light and loose. Okay, so now as you're sitting there, notice where your body is making contact. Feel your feet touching the floor, perhaps your back on the ground, your sit bones on a chair. Maybe your legs are crossed, folded over, or just in a relaxed posture. Just feel there where you are sitting. Just be aware of there where you are sitting. Okay, and notice your breath. Just breathe in and out very slowly and relaxed. So notice your breath. Your breath may be a little bit faster because you had some caffeine this morning. Maybe you're feeling anxious, maybe you're feeling relaxed. Doesn't matter. Just be aware of your breath. So for the next 5 breaths or so, follow each inhale and exhale, feeling or imagining the breath flowing in and out of your body. Just breathe in slowly through your nose or your mouth. It doesn't matter. This is your moment. This is your time. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. But feel that flow, that natural automatic flow in and out of your body. See how the ocean, the waves go in and out. It's like a breath, isn't it? It goes in and out every day. The ocean, it just goes in and out. It's the same as your breath. It's just there. And acknowledge that absolute present that we've been given is this breath that just automatically goes in and out. It's just there. Doesn't matter what you go through, your breath, it's just there. It never lets you down. It is there. You don't worry where your next breath is going to go, where it's going to come from. It's just there for you. Okay. And now, shift your awareness from your breath to your body. So move your awareness from your breath to your body. And slowly begin to scan the body from head to toe. So scan through the body slowly from head to toe, observing any feelings or emotions that's present, whatever they are. Do not have an expectation. Don't think you're supposed to feel anything. Maybe you feel something, maybe you don't. That does not matter. Scan through your body slowly from head to toe. Observe any feelings or emotions that are present or that's not present. Doesn't matter. Go up and down like the waves that's breaking on the beach. Goes up and down. Just scan yourself up and down. So you might detect numerous feelings or emotions throughout the body. Maybe you're not picking up anything, does not matter. So you may detect numerous feelings or emotions throughout your body, or nothing for that matter. But for the purpose of this exercise, choose one feeling or emotion to focus on for now. So choose one feeling or emotion to focus on right now. Remember to relax your shoulders. Just let them drop, let them hang. They're not working right now. So notice where in your body this emotion is located. So where in your body is this emotion located? Which part of the body is holding this feeling? Keep on breathing slowly and relaxed. And drop the shoulders. So which part of the body is holding this feeling? How big or small is this feeling of yours? So how big or small is this feeling? Where are its edges? Where are the edges of this feeling? Are the edges of your feeling sharp or soft? So where are the edges of this feeling? Is it sharp or is it soft? Does this feeling have a color? Does this feeling of yours have a color? And if it has a color, is the color changing or is it remaining the same? Is your color changing or is it remaining the same? Is the feeling heavy or is it light? Is the feeling that you are feeling heavy or is it light? Is the feeling moving or is it still? Is your feeling moving or is it still? Is this feeling of yours hard or is it soft? Is it hard or is it soft? Is this feeling rough or is it smooth? If you could touch this feeling of yours with your hand, what would its texture be like? What would the texture be like? If you were able to give a name to this feeling or emotion, what would it be? So if you could give a name to this feeling or emotion, what would it be? Can you identify it? Can you give it a label? If the name for this feeling does not come to mind, that's okay. Be kind to yourself and continue to observe the feeling in the body with curiosity and without judgment until the nature of this emotion becomes clearer to you. Even if you were feeling nothing, the nothingness is also your emotion. I want you to sit with this feeling that you are having right now for another few minutes. Just be with it. Just be with yourself and your body there where you are sitting right now, breathing in slowly, in and out, like the waves of an ocean. Just sit with yourself. Just be with yourself, dropping your shoulders, becoming aware of the back, your straightened back, the way that you are sitting on your chair, where your feet are touching the ground. Just be with yourself. Be aware of every single muscle in your body and just be with yourself. Breathe in slowly and deeply. And slowly you can open your eyes. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Don't move too quickly or get up too quickly. Just sit there where you are. You can open your eyes slowly. Keep on breathing. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay. Does anyone want to share their feelings? Does anyone want to share what it is that they experienced, even if they did not identify a feeling, or if they did identify a feeling, if they gave the feeling a name? Anyone who wants to share their experience, type it in the chat box or the Q&A box for us. And you may be wondering, but why did we do this exercise? Is this not maybe more of a stress management exercise? This is the way that you will get to know yourself. And this is the way that you will start becoming aware of your mind, your thoughts, and also how your physical body feels, because the two are connected. Whatever is happening in here will have a physiological reaction on your body. That is how it is with everyone. If you think the two is disconnected, if you think that when you drive into traffic and you experience that frustration and that irritation, that it's not going to have an impact on your physical body, then there's a lot that you need to learn. Then you need to join our stress management exercises as well. The two are interlinked. So please share your thoughts. I know that we went slowly, but we sort of rushed through the exercise. If we had more time, we would have been able to go through it longer. I can tell you comments from previous sessions that we've had. Someone actually said that they felt panicked because no feeling popped up and they felt like there should have been one. It's just because you are already quite tense and you need a little bit more time to relax. You could all relax. You just need time to do it. You cannot rush relaxation and rush to determine what's going on in your head and your mind. So someone here said, I felt doubt, shame, disappointment. Someone said, I felt trapped. The greatest peace I felt in years. I named it me. Very nice. Scared. Someone said gratefulness, but the feeling was pink. It was heavy. I felt my soul. Happy. Boxy, happy. Okay, so everyone here that felt that like the doubt, the shame, trapped, scared, do not be fearful of those emotions. It could be an indication that you actually need to spend a little bit more time with yourself. It means that you actually need to make a little time every day to either, if you go for a little bit of exercise, I say exercise not so that we can lose weight or whatever. It is to spend time with yourself for that amount of time. So whether it's 20 minutes or half an hour or an hour that you break free from work, you walk around the block, you go to the gym, or you take a little bit of a run. You do it to spend time with yourself. You're breaking free of the cell phone. You're breaking free from the TV. You are with yourself. Another exercise that you can do is when you drink your coffee or your tea or whether you eat, put all the electronics away and you only eat. You only drink your coffee. Get into that habit. Start with that. Small little exercises to get you to spend time with yourself. The reason why we scroll like this is then you don't have to deal with the voices in your head. You will see it once you start trying it. You will see that you don't want to spend time with your head. So don't don't worry about any of these feelings or emotions that you felt. It's your body, it's your mind telling you, I need to spend more time with me. I need to be more with me. Someone said, yeah, the greatest peace I've ever felt. Do it more regularly. You will increase that. You will actually build on that. What I do is I am a member of the Art of Living. So I'm going to type it here in the chat box. It's www.artofliving.org.za. But it's in South Africa, and you can just Google Art of Living. They teach you how to meditate and do breathing exercises. I do it every day. If I don't do this, I don't know how people cope. Okay, some other people said, yeah, restless, stiff shoulders, unable to relax. So practice it every single day. Great sense of awe, deep wonder of existence. Get more of it, do it more. And the more you are aware of yourself, the more you will learn about other people. Someone here said stressed. So remember, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and all of us feel stressed 9 o'clock in the morning. We feel fear and anxiety. So keep an eye on your caffeine intake. That will stimulate your central nervous system to the point of anxiousness. So keep an eye on that. But incorporate your exercise, and it's not for weight loss and that. You want to exercise so that you can be with yourself and become aware of all the tension in your shoulders all of the time. Someone said here, I felt anxious. The color was green. That's quite an interesting combination. Explore it more. So if you can do this exercise every single day, even if you do it at lunchtime or before you go to work or before you go to bed, sit with yourself. The Art of Living even they've got an app on the phone. So every night before I go to sleep, I do there's a sleeping thing. It's not even 20 minutes long. It's a relaxation. It goes through the body. I fall asleep while the thing is going. Practice things like this. Enjoy things like this. Explore what is out there. Explore meditation and yoga type of techniques. So our time is up. I just want to go to I hope you can see the last page here. Let me show you the last page. Can you see the page here where it gives you the details of the training, the training link? So it says here, training@hrtalk.co.za, or you can just email Charlene or myself. Can you see up here is the link for the training where you can actually go onto the portal and you can do the training. So I hope you're going to join us for more sessions. We'll probably next time be doing the stress management. So join us for that, but jump on our portal. Go do the training. You see, it's very, very, very easy. But that's the only way that you can start learning what is EQ, how can I manage my stress, and go explore the Art of Living. Google it. They've got a nice South African center. They are worldwide. They are non-profit. So they don't do this for the teachers are all volunteers, and they teach you how to do all of this. And there's a happiness course, and then you can do a silence course. It's just brilliant. Learn to get to know your mind and your head and how this thing connects to your body. It's not separate. This is all one. Learn when your muscles get tense. Step away from the caffeine and the electronics and just go be with yourself. Even if you spend time in the sun where you can get some vitamin D, because you know that the sun converts your cholesterol to vitamin D3. Guess you didn't know that. Now you do. So I hope you're going to see us next time. Please keep an eye on our invites. And if you've got any questions, just pop us a mail. Okay. There's the training link. Charlene just posted the training link. So copy and paste it, but just email us. We'll send you everything. Let me see who else is here that's maybe got some questions for us. I know we ran out of time. Also, email me or Charlene for the notes. The training link will also be in there. Okay, but we'll see you next time. All right, so see you next time, everyone. And thank you for participating. And we will chat soon. Thank you, Charlene and HR Talk. See you next time.